Oh, when Hansel Lord, she don't quite but not all. Oh, she's a combination of the Wabash Cannonball. Now listen to the tingle, the rumble, and the roar. That's right, you want to move it, man, to the hills and by the shore. Yeah, the mighty rush of the engine to that lonesome hobo's call. You're traveling through the jungle on the Wabash Cannonball. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen and earthlings and rat rodders and little pygmies down there in Africa. I'll get some hate mail over that. Excuse me. Woo, Lordy. Must have been that shot of whiskey. Mercy. Hey, I thought we'd talk about these headlights a little bit. They're all installed and they're all fired up and they're all working, and headlights and bright lights and dim lights and signal lights and running lights and four-way flashers. So I know y'all have seen the headlights. That ain't nothing new, but I think I took quite a few pictures along the way, and I might put together a little slideshow and kind of let you see kind of how I did this along the way. Not that I'm no expert now. Don't do it the way I do it. I had a fellow email me, or not email me, put in the comments that he wanted me to email him because he wanted to ask me some advice on a couple things. Feller, you come barking up the wrong tree, because I don't know anything about how to do this. I'm certainly not qualified to show anybody how to do it, but I'm happy to show you how I did it and share with you my experience. And I think they turned out okay. One guy said that he'd like them a little better if they were up higher on the fender. Excuse me. Need another shot of that whiskey. And I told him, yeah, I would have liked them better up there too, but they wouldn't lay flat because this Dodge Brothers, they had a different idea about how to shape that fender than Henry did. So these don't fit up here because these are off 37, 38, 39 Ford Standard. And on those, if you look at some pictures of them, they'll show a little cone that comes out of the fender. It's molded into the fender, and it comes out to accommodate these up here in this curvature, this compound curves of the fender thingy bobber majigger here. So this is the only place they lay flat, but I kind of like them there. You know, it's okay. You get they start to grow on you after a while, kind of like a wart. You know, it's okay. So I know I posted some pictures on Instagram. Speaking of Instagram, I thought I was doing a good thing the other day. That ever happened to you guys? You think you're doing a good deed, and all of a sudden it just backfires on you, and you get met with all this adversity over the deal. And I thought I was making a public service announcement. Man, I figured there might be a few of you fellers out there that's kind of technologically challenged, as am I, to a degree. So I thought, well, I'd make it easy for these guys, you know, and I'd just let them in, clue them in on a little secret that you don't have to be signed up for Instagram, you know, or have an account or anything just to go look at it. That's free. It don't cost nothing, or it don't cause any, you know, heartache or backache or anything to just look at it. So I thought, well, Ken, you might do these guys a favor and let them know how they can just look at Instagram without signing up for it. Well, I spent 2 videos and 20 minutes explaining how you don't need an account. You know, you don't need to sign up for an account to just look at it. And the first comment I read was a guy saying, Ken, some of us don't want to sign up for Instagram. That was the whole point. That was the whole point of my thing, you know, was to let you know you don't have to sign up for Instagram. You don't have to sign up for nothing. And even my buddy George didn't get what I was saying. He said, now you want me to add another program? No. That was the whole point, was to tell you, you don't have to. But I said this thing about Instagram, and all of a sudden, all around the shop, all around me, I heard this noise and rattling and banging, and it sounded like steel doors just slamming, jail cell doors slamming. Don't ask me how I know what that sounds like. Anyway, it sounded like steel doors are slamming. And what it was people's minds are slamming shut, bam, as soon as they heard the word Instagram, and they didn't hear nothing else I said, after that. So, and it wasn't everybody, it was just a few people. And I'm just aggravating you guys anyway, because I get in trouble a lot of times because of my sense of humor, and I answer some comments sometimes with some sarcasm, especially if it's a stupid comment, or one that I've answered already 3 times in the video, and then they ask anyway because they didn't watch all the video and they started commenting before they start. You know what I mean. But anyway, I don't mean nobody no harm, but my humor's kind of gets me in trouble sometimes, and I've been misunderstood a lot, and now especially ex-wives will get real honest with you. They'll tell you the truth. And I had one of them tell me one time, one of many, that she said, Ken, you don't mean to be, but you're just a natural born smartass. It's just the way things come out of your mouth, and sometimes there's just no filter, and I just kind of spew it out. But I don't mean nobody no harm, and I guess I need to curb my enthusiasm. Anyway, let's get on with this thing. I'm not going to go into this Instagram thing, but no, you don't have to sign up to go look at the pictures, because the reason I got it is because some of my buddies, Shavaholic, you might not hear from him for a month, but on video on YouTube, but he's putting up little posts on Instagram, so I kind of know what he's up to. And he's put up some cool pictures of the cars and things at car shows, and Mr. Heavy Chevy throughout the week he posts little things along the way. It's kind of a preview of things to come, but on mine, a lot of it don't ever make it to YouTube, so because I don't want to repeat and bore people any more than I do. And I'm boring you right now, so I'm going to shut up and we'll get on with some of these pictures that I took along the way of how I was mounting these headlights. And I hope I don't get too much hate mail from the pygmies down there in Africa. Welcome to Rat Rodding with your host Waylon Wire and his dog Spot. Okay, this was the very first mock-up when I stuck them on the fender for the first time, and then I started taping them into place, and I tried to set them on that crease on the fender that's, to follow that line, but when you do, they point to the outside, so I couldn't do that. I had to move them to the inside just a little bit, so you'll see they're not quite lined up with those signal lights, but they lay flat. So I got some headlights and my lenses, and I started finding center. I put a dot on the headlight and then found center and put a dot on the lens, and when I put them together I just lined up the dots. After I had the light in, I could place the lens over the top of it, and here I was just marking them out. And once you drill that hole, boy, you're committed. No turning back now. So I started reluctantly cutting into it, but they worked out okay. Of course, I'm a fanatic about getting everything symmetrical, but once I put that headlight lens in there and backed off and looked at it, I'm going, yeah, that's kind of what I'm after. And when I fit the lens up on there, they of course take a whole different look. You can see the dot there, but I wanted to get them vertical, so I put these crosshairs on there so I could use a level and get them perfectly vertical. And I kind of like the way that line on the bottom of that light or lens follows the line on the bumper, and it kind of ends, the point on that lens kind of points down where that line on the bumper ends, if you get what I'm talking about there. You can see they're rocked back a little bit, but they're both exactly the same on both sides. Here I was just going to cut this out so that I could take those torpedo lights and then just recess them back into the fender, and that's what I wound up doing. That's what I'm talking about. Cutting that hole in the fender, that was a little scary for me because I'm not really a fabricator, but they worked out. They fit up pretty nice, actually. Here you can see from the side. It kind of like the grew there. Here I was just checking clearance to make sure the tire didn't hit the bottom of them when I set it down all the way. And they don't. There's worlds of room in there. Worked out good.
Okay, now I have to get rid of these single post receptacles and put these guys in, which are duals, so I can run these as running lights as well as using this signal lights. Right now it's only a signal light, but I'm going to change that, and I might even think of something clever to do with these little markers. Y'all may not know it, but I have a clever moment every now and then. I have some really dumb ones too. I had a YouTube friend of mine tell me that radiator hose is ugly, and you know, I've been looking at this thing for 2 years, and it never once crossed my mind that hose is ugly. So obviously you're not a rat rodder, because you'd know things ain't supposed to be pretty when you're rat rodding. But it'll be covered up, so you won't have to look at it. Okay, that's enough out of me. Waylon Wire here. See you next time. Thanks for watching.